Well, here it is. This is very exciting. I've got, I think, about 150 people scheduled to show up. We've got an open bar. We've got fabulous Italian food. And it should be a wonderful event. I'm most grateful. Joseph P. Murphy Jr.
Hello.
I've known since he was an assistant state's attorney. And,
in the early 70s.
Yeah. And
a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago. And he recently retired as a judge of the Court of Appeals of Maryland. He was the chief judge of the Court of Special Appeals. And so he knows the law. And politics. And politics.
How are you?
Terrific.
Happy birthday.
Good to see you, bud.
Another Irishman. This is Judge Murphy, but this is John Kelly.
Hi, I'm Carol.
And Carol. And John was a great goalie on the Hopkins lacrosse team. Some guy went by earlier and he said, and he saw me standing and he said, well, congratulations, I don't know for what. And I said, it's for being vertical and above ground. This young lady, who could be my daughter, is Michelle Better. Hello. And her husband is Herbie Better, a great Hopkins lacrosse player. This is Gilbert Sandler.
Hello, my friend Sue Hess.
Sue Hess.
Yes.
And Gil Sandler is a great chronicler of the history of Baltimore. Thank you, boy. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Oh, nice tie.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Great to see
Oh,
you.
yes, this is a Hopkins lacrosse tie.
Designed by NAG.
Yeah.
This tie.
And Herbie was part of the famous Johns Hopkins Jewish midfield.
Yes.
Midget midfield.
Midget midfield.
Stanley Fine was, who else was the
Jerome Schneider. This is Joan Jenkins. I'm having a difficult time, and all I'm drinking is iced tea.
Okay.
But she was a erstwhile colleague from the Evening Sun.
In the old days,
That's right.
when evening news meant something.
That's right.
There's my birthday boy. Mwah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I have something for you. It's for
Janine,
your collection.
this is Janine Tucker, the coach of Hopkins ladies lacrosse.
Yep.
And she uses
Steel treasure.
Yes, she uses Lady J cartoon.
Your Lady J that you made me. So
That's
this is
right.
for you.
Hey, honey.
Here's your score.
Oh my goodness.
No, Sue brought a card.
Sue brought a card. Hiya, Marika. Sure.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
This
my
is the
goodness.
funniest card.
Oh, okay.
So is this.
All righty. John sent me a card today that I opened up, and on the front it's got a heavy-set opera singer, you know, and it says, "You're not old till the fat lady sings," and you open it up and it goes, "Ah!"
Hey, brother, what's going on?
What's up, bro?
What's happening?
Neil,
Hi.
say brother. Good to see you.
Hi, Giselle.
Roy Katz and his wife. Roy was on 3 national championship teams in a row. He's got a ring to show it. Another wearer of the tie.
Exactly. You know,
Thank
just
you.
something. Don't let the description on the outside fool you. It's a little bit of bait and switch.
For you. Nice to see you. Is there a gift table?
I'll take
You said
it.
you're wearing a bow tie. You said that, man.
I said that. I said you'd be wearing a bow tie. Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Neil.
Happy birthday.
This is
Half
Rich.
century of friendship. More than that, actually.
Yes.
I plead the 5th.
She's a federal judge, so she knows such
Northwestern.
things.
Oh my.
You're Mr. Kastner.
I am a case.
That's right.
How do you do? How do you do? My friend.
Something before Trump got to it. It's Steve. And this is Mrs. Kastner. And her father, her husband, Big John. And Little John will be here later. Mr. Kastner played for Maryland, but we love him nonetheless.
Yo, how you doing? The regular man. Hey, listen.
How are you, Neil? It's good to see you again, buddy. You look
Yeah.
great. You look like you're about 35, buddy.
Yes, he works now at Sibley Memorial
Nick's
Hospital.
my younger brother.
Yes, yes.
My younger brother.
Yes,
The old
yes.
guy.
Good to
This is fantastic. Oh my gosh. I'm looking.
I got my pin and my tie and my hat on.
You've got everything.
I got it all.
Gentleman was a year ahead of me at Hopkins. He was, believe it or not, the captain of the wrestling team. And he's a surgeon now retired. Hi, good to see you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Jenkins was a good friend of Martin Luther King Jr. Mr. Jenkins began his career in Alabama, and then he came up to Baltimore and headed the editorial page of the Evening Sun. This is Eileen O'Brien, a great writer. Yeah, right. She's a great writer and a terrific copy editor, and she did the copy editing on all my books. Rooney.
Happy birthday.
Terrific. Brother Peterson. 7-0.
Only 1 year behind. This is a great idea.
Well, honestly, I thought, if I don't do it for myself, who's going to do it? Brother.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Gosh, I said no gifts, but I appreciate it. And Jeff Berlin, known as the Berlin Wall when he was the Hopkins goalie.
And I was proud to wear your Blue Jays.
I was the goalie that followed him. Big ass shoes to follow.
Fine. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you, my love you. Thank you, my love.
Happy birthday, Neil.
Thank you. Steve Ciccarone, his mother and brother are already here. One of the great Ciccarone clan, the legends of Hopkins lacrosse. That's the
According to
legend.
the sign.
Hey, Mr. Hall and Mr. Leon, friends of mine from Washington, D.C. Mr. Hall and I were, I was going to say classmates, but we were colleagues at Vanguard Communications in Washington, D.C. Mr. Leon is a power broker in Washington.
Sure.
Well, he used to work for Kennedy, but that was a long time
Are you
ago.
off your meds again?
Hey, boss. How are you? Fine, fine. This is my oldest friend in point of service. It's my father. That's right. Dr. Robert Chesson and his beautiful wife, Judy, whom I mentioned in my speech.
Pleasure to be here. Absolutely.
Right. Great to see you. This is Dave Dilworth. He designed both my Hopkins history and my neurosurgery history book. And he knows how to tie a bow tie.
Well, it took me about half an hour. That's why I'm late.
Hey, how are you? Terrific.
Happy birthday to
Thank
you.
you. John Aston, beautiful wife Val.
Hello.
This man's a legend.
You're a legend.
Those hormone shots are working.
Yeah. Wrong place.
Right. you're being taped. You shouldn't say that.
No, I'm glad he did.
Right.
Thank you. Bob Erlandson is a great reporter, foreign correspondent, war correspondent in Vietnam, a terrific guy. If you got in his crosshairs when he was an investigative reporter, you were in trouble.
You don't look gay over 69.
From where'd you come from?
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Down from New Hampshire.
Down to where it's warm.
Yeah.
How are you? Happy birthday.
Ed Donahue, thank you so much. Another
Happy birthday.
Holy mackerel, thank you. Another fraternity brother. Used to be the national president of the Alpha Delta Phi fraternity.
Good to see you. How are you? This is such a great affair. I love it.
Blue Jay.
What's
I know, we were
I love you, man. You have no idea how much I love you. I'm serious. You're such a great man.
Thank you. Oh yeah, that's only just begun.
Neil, happy birthday to you, pal. How you doing, all right?
Terrific.
Yeah, good.
Terrific.
Good.
I'm so delighted that you're here. Yeah. This is Tom Cole from Chicago, his wife Connie.
Happy birthday, Neil.
This is pretty terrific.
Yeah, it is pretty true.
This is a suit I had custom made in Hong Kong. See, it says Henry.
Love you. Happy 70th.
Thank you. This is another one of the chickaronis. We're lousy with chickaronis here.
I want to say while the camera's rolling that my dad, is looking down on you saying happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I loved his father dearly. And all the chickaronis. Their family. Thank you, dear.
This is so wonderful, so beautiful.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Partner.
This is Henry Bram,
And Rachel Bram, more importantly.
and Henry is the Harvey Cushing Professor of Neurological Surgery at the Johns Hopkins University, director.
Friend of Neil Grauer, most importantly.
And Rachel heads the breast center at the George.
Most importantly, Neil's friend.
But I've got the neurosurgery book, but I have all my book covers.
Yeah, we'll work on the order. I'll shuffle it around. Right. Ours is the heaviest, right?
No, actually, neurosurgery. Yeah, yours is the heaviest. That's right. Right.
Thank you for letting us.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How you doing, man? Happy birthday.
Thank you. Jake's the cover boy on the book about lacrosse, and this is his beautiful wife.
How are you? Happy birthday.
Alec, who's a physician now, doing a residency in internal medicine. That's right. That's right. Jake is now a lawyer. That's right. And he knows how to tie a bow tie.
Hello, love. How are you? Happy birthday.
Thank you. Ann Lombardo,
Hi.
former foreign correspondent for The Sun.
Neil taught me everything I knew. He did. I was a co-reporter working in the building at the News American, and Neil was a kind, gentle tutor. Am I right?
Well, it's a nice piece of fiction. What
Isn't
I
it?
like
Okay,
hearing
okay,
is her husband, Hank Greenberg.
Hi, good to see you.
You gotta hug me, man.
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Mazel tov.
And Hank and I were colleagues in the Maryland Attorney General's office.
Yes, many decades ago.
Indeed. Another former Evening Sun man.
No.
Morning Sun. Oh, pardon me.
Yes.
Pardon me.
I don't know.
Happy birthday, Neil.
Tom Hall.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
you, man.
Thank you.
This
Tom,
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
What a gathering.
Tom Hall, now retired, but 30-odd years director of the Baltimore Choral Arts
That's
Society.
it. I'm still gainfully employed, though.
He's on radio
Not
now.
unlike Mr. Grauer.
That's right. Ibovici, my former boss, head of the Consumer Protection Division in the Maryland Attorney General's office.
And Dana Reed.
And Dana.
His lovely
Happy
lady.
birthday.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, my dear. Because I never listen to instructions.
My colleague Joanne Rogers, colleague at both the Baltimore News American and at the Office of Marketing Communications, Johns Hopkins Medicine. And she and I have a special bond.
We do.
Because when I had spinal meningitis, she wrote my obituary.
Right, which means that it's all banked and you don't have to use it for at least 40 more years.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Love you.
Hi. How are you?
Happy birthday.
And I brought that guy too. He's
Hey, buddy.
holding our-
How are you?
Happy birthday.
My great friend Mitch Kearney and his wife Sue, wearing a Hopkins lacrosse tie, of course.
All outfitted. You look good.
Thank you. Kilner, star of stage, screen, television, and voiceover,
I'm his manager.
and his wonderful wife, Jordan Baker. Also, both Broadway stars, really, both Pulitzer Prize winners in that. They were main characters in plays that won Pulitzer Prizes.
Happy birthday.
Happy
I
birthday.
love you. Mwah.
And how about that? We've got the hammer here.
I'm glad we made it.
Oh, I'm so glad you made it.
Well, thank you so much for inviting us.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Happy birthday and thanks for thinking of us.
Oh, of course. Michael Hutchison, wife Donna, down from Boston, or actually Hingham, Massachusetts.
That's right.
And he was a fraternity brother of mine, and my successor as president of the Blue Peace Society. And
And you were in our wedding.
I was indeed.
You were. You're one of the groomsmen.
That was. And then
47 years ago.
I'm not. I'm
Dennis O'Shea.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
What a dig. What a cinder.
Yeah. President of, or head of public affairs for the Johns Hopkins University.
Well, sometimes it's that big.
Yeah.
How are you? Happy 70th.
Jack and Bird Wood, other Hopkins fan, lovely wife. Every Christmas, she bakes me Christmas cookies. And I send them a cheesecake.
Is this entire
Place here? Yeah. Seriously?
Yep.
you know this many people?
Oh, yeah. There's
Did
Brian
you go to the
Burke.
white pages and pick people out?
No, yeah, the personal columns in the city paper. Yeah,
Was it the obits?
yeah, right.
Hey, buddy. Good to see you.
Where do you throw the cards?
Here, and I'll
Put it in here. You make like I gave you that booze. I didn't know.
All right. Mike O'Neill, the Hammer. One of the greatest lacrosse players ever. And I do believe, I'm going to mention in my speech, I do believe you're the one who's come the farthest.
Who's come to us?
Fluid from Denver. The greatest goalie who ever played for Hopkins. Happy birthday. Thank you, young man.
How are you?
Terrific. Another chickaroni. Like I said, lots of chickaronis. There's a Dabrowski. Good Irishman.
Great to see you, buddy. Happy birthday.
Thanks
Thanks for having us, seriously.
My pleasure.
My wife, Courtney.
Yes, good to see you.
Thank you so much for drawing that for our little guy.
James Campbell, former member of the Maryland House of Delegates, a power broker in Annapolis.
Yes, happy birthday. Thank you so much for letting us celebrate with you.
This many people aren't going to come to your funeral. I just want you to do that.
Introduce you to a friend of mine.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
Doc Matthews, a great goalie. I've had Thanksgiving.
Filming this?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I've had Thanksgiving with the Matthews for 25 years.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Boy, this is impressive. I'll tell you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Isn't she gorgeous? And this is her good-looking husband, another Matthew, Nate Matthews, and Scott.
How are you, man? Good to see you.
Scott's here from Nashville. Came up from Nashville.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Doc Matthews and I traveled to Australia back in 1990. And it was a real education because he is an oleophile of the top water. And we would go to dinner and he'd order 5 different bottles of wine.
It cost me a lot of money keeping him in wine.
It did, yeah, right. Timbo!
How are you?
Terrific.
See ya. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Terrific. Timothy Shriver Jr. and his fiancée,
How are you?
Tamara. I am
Wired
terrific.
up today, huh?
I am, although because we're going to make a video of it.
Wow.
I trust it will end up being G-rated, depending upon how much you have to drink.
Right, exactly.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
My buddy, Steve Mitchell, the father of my godson,
Oh,
Charlie.
I have a video for you.
Okay.
It's funny. In the bathtub, all of them, but Charlie too. I have a couple videos. I did it just today.
Terrific.
Oh, they were so funny. They were doing "Who let the Neil out?" Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know that. Yeah, they were thrilled to death.
Of course.
Happy birthday.
This is Brother Bainbridge, whose son and daughter-in-law you met earlier.
I want to see a complete rendition of this show, and I want to eventually add all kinds of nasty things about you.
Oh, please do.
Later.
Knowles. I'm just taking a lady named Centofanti. I'm talking to a young man in Italy. Thank you, Knowles. How are you doing?
We lost him. Happy birthday, young man.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Timothy Shriver, his beautiful wife.
Happy birthday, Liam.
Did Timmy tell you Anna Lordo's here?
Oh, you're kidding.
No. So she was a roommate of Anna Lordo's in college. And Timmy, the hormone shots are working.
And you can't imagine how many different ways.
Wait a second, there we go. Oh, good. There we go.
To see you.
Real quick.
Oh, that's a nice occasion, too.
Thank you. Marjorie Centofanti, one of my colleagues from Marketing Communications.
I go with her.
I know you do. I know. Thank you. Thank you. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. Mike, this is my cousin, Miriam Davis. I almost said Ann. Miriam Davis.
Okay, I'd rather be Ann.
And her husband, Mike Rooker. They are very, very deep into genealogy. So they know exactly where I've come from.
Right. That's right.
Which is why...
You do. You're much better.
Happy birthday.
My friend Glenn Thomas, formerly director of admissions at the Johns Hopkins University. He's been a friend for what now, 40, 50 years?
50 years, roughly.
Yeah. Ray Jenkins, great journalist. Started down in Alabama. Came up here to Baltimore. Georgia, started in Georgia, pardon me. In the South, you can tell it if I let him talk. Yeah, this is Patrick Daddy Russell, my MC. Wow, terrific.
I thought you were snookered, man. I thought this started at 7. And I have Kyle's tournament. So I hustled down here. And Brendan goes, oh, we're all here. I'm like, oh my God. So I did 90.
Don't worry.
Good to see you, bro. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How are you? Linda Hazelhurst. Good to see you.
Thank you. Will Hazelhurst.
He's the bouncer. This is the bouncer. Where is Neil? We want to see Neil. He was taller. I remember he was a taller guy.
No, thank you very much.
Is the Blue Jay as old as you are?
No, he's only 51 years old. Will Hazelhurst, another great Hopkins lacrosse player. We got a lot of them here.
See that?
Grab and rig.
Thanks so much.
The birthday boy himself, Mr. Neil Grau.
I will be brief. Something you have never seen me before. But turning 70 does impress upon one the importance of not wasting time. I want to express my deepest appreciation to all of you who have accorded me the most generous honor by coming here tonight. Not for everybody. Although recognizing the attendance of some guests, but not naming all of you runs the risk of unintended offense. I do think I have to acknowledge the presence of the oldest celebrant here, my good friend Gilbert Sandler, chronicler of Baltimore history, wise observer, an elegant raconteur who, at 94, he shows me what I ought to strive to be should I manage to last another 24 years. I also want to thank the person who has come the longest way to be here, Mike the Hammer O'Neill. One of the greatest attackmen in the history of Hopkins lacrosse and a National Lacrosse Hall of Famer. He flew in all the way from Denver. It's amazing how an open bar is so appealing. My oldest friend in point of service, Dr. Bob Chesson, who at 56 years and counting has heard all of my stories more than anyone else and somehow retained his sanity. And his lovely wife, Judy, over yonder. Tom Cole, the father of my goddaughter, Kirsten, and 50 years a friend, and his lovely wife, Connie, who flew in from Chicago for this shindig. Steve Mitchell, another Lacrosse Hall of Famer who played basketball, football, and lacrosse at Hopkins, becoming the first long-stick midfielder to be named an All-American, and who, with his lovely wife, Megan, did me the immense honor 4 years ago of making me a godfather of their son, Charlie. And of course, Ron Peterson, president of the Johns Hopkins Health System, fraternity brother, and the man who made it possible for me to embark on an entirely unexpected journey as a chronicler of Johns Hopkins medicine history. I am so grateful for his support and that of his lovely wife, Rooney. I could go on, and really all of you should be mentioned, but I promised to be brief. I will conclude with a quote from the renowned Irish poet, William Butler Yeats, sure to be appreciated by all of my Irish friends here, meaning you, Dick Maxey, the smartest man in the room, the Cowans, the Kierneys, Shrivers, Kellys, Murphys, Maloneys, etc. Yeats wrote, Owen O'Neill, well, I mentioned him already. One bite of the apple. Yeats wrote, think where a man's glory most begins and ends, and say, my glory was, I had such friends. Hear, hear. Hear, hear. Thank you, and now I will turn this over to Patrick Daddy Russell, who I'm sure will have a few remarks that should put an end to all this sentimental blather.
Is really about you and your friendship. With all due respect, we've learned a lot about Neil. I know that there is a background to the great area of Great Neck, to your friends at the News American, to those who are at Johns Hopkins. I come to you as a Johns Hopkins lacrosse Blue Jay. And for those of you who know, we refer to Neil's place on University Parkway as Shea Nag. We have Sammy's here, which I know is a popular destination with the Blue Jays, but there is one destination that's more popular than Sammy's, and it's Shea Nag. Before I begin, I would just like you to know, and I'm going to keep this brief, there will be no roasting, as much as all the chicks are here and they're fun to roast, right? We're going to keep this real brief. I just want to talk about Shea Nag. Before I do, I know that your grandfather and your father, both Johns Hopkins Blue Jays, would be very proud to look at this room right now and see all the friends, the friendships, the love, and fans that are here. So, Neil has always spoken very fondly of his grandfather and his father's Blue Jays. So here's the thing, I literally just wrote this down on the list. Here are the things you learn about with Neil at Shea Nag. Okay? the infamous VW Bug. Right? Milton Eisenhower could have a Lincoln Town Car, but he always preferred to go in the VW Bug. We know Neil is a great author. We know him as a member of the great town of Great Neck. We know him as a true friend of the great Milton Eisenhower, one of the great presidents of Johns Hopkins University. We always learned these are things we've learned at Shea Nag. Right? The meals, we can't forget the meals. They were great meals.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. The only thing you didn't do when you had a meal at Shea Nag was give you a pre-printed menu. Except the 6 bourbons you had before dinner. Low division. He taught me a Blue Jay, and this is true, how to tie a bow tie. Right? Yeah. We know Neil for his cartoons, or I think the proper word might be caricatures. Yes. Right? Right? All the caricatures that Neil did. We know about his time at the News American. We know his time as a court reporter. We know about his great book on James Thurber, Wits and Sages. We know, and as I lived in New York, we know about the great Algonquin Hotel. One of his famous destinations is the great Algonquin Hotel. And of course, the Blue Jay, right? The reason why I'm wearing a hat at this festivity is because it has Neil's Blue Jay on it. Normally I would not wear a hat, but I'm wearing this hat in honor of Neil because we know him as Mr. Blue Jay. I was at a tournament. I happened to be at a tournament today with our 15-year-old son, and I'm standing next to a father who we played against at Cornell, and he said, "What are you doing tonight? Do you want to get together with all the dads after the tournament games?" I said, "No, I'm actually going to Baltimore to celebrate a good friend's 70th birthday." I said, "His name is Neil Brower," and he goes, "Oh, did he play at Hopkins?" I said, "No, but he's just as much a part of Hopkins as he would be if he were a player." And I started mentioning the cartoon Blue Jay. And he looks at me and says, "I want to go to that dinner." Because that sounds like a really cool experience. We want to talk about Neil's legacy at Johns Hopkins, right? Because he is a proud Johns Hopkins University graduate. I know he's talked a lot about his love of the archives and things that he's done for the school and what he's leaving behind. So he'll leave a legacy that's important to the university, as well as to the hospital with all the things that he's done with the hospital, including the publication that he did on the history of Johns Hopkins medicine. We know that Neil has a huge connection to Walt Disney, right? Through his friendship with the Davises. We know that he loves to travel, and we hope that as you reach the milestone of 70, that you will enjoy many, many more world travels out there as well. Okay? And one of my favorite quotes is that we all know that Neil has a good relationship with the Shriver family, and I know some of the Shrivers are here, but we always liked the way that Neil dressed. And I remember when Neil went to one of the Shriver weddings, I was not there, was not privileged. Neither were the Chickaroonies. We love the idea that when you ran into Arnold Schwarzenegger, he looked at you and said, "Neil, you look like the Great Gatsby." Some friends who couldn't be here have great videos for Neil. One is Caleb Deschanel, who was editor of the newsletter, a great movie producer, and his daughter, Zoe. Extended birthday wishes to you via video. Your good friend Chuck Fax, who happens to be in Greece at the time, right now, while your birthday's here. And then Paul Radel, the great Paul Radel, right? After Butch Kelly, the second best midfielder of John.
Indeed.
So, with that, I would just like to say, there are many, many Blue Jays here that you don't see who have dined at Shea Nag, right? From the class of 2017 going back into the 80s and the 70s. We thank you for your hospitality, your warmth. You taught us truly, even though we didn't succeed at it, you taught us truly what it means to be a gentleman and a scholar. Some of us became gentlemen but not scholars. Few of us became scholars and never made it to gentlemen. But we thank you for the effort. Happy birthday, Neil. Great job.
So there's just a couple of things I want. I mean, everybody's here because Neil has given them an incredible amount of love. I mean, this is a love fest tonight, and that's why we're all here. But I want to just disabuse you of a couple of things about Neil. The first thing is he really was a child. I honestly knew him before he wore a bow tie and a sports jacket. So some of those pictures, we really did not make them up. They're actually real. And the second thing was when I first met Neil, and I'm certainly a little height challenged, but when I first met Neil in 7th grade, he was actually the tallest guy in our class. Now, what happened after that, I have no idea. Anyway, but anyway, happy birthday, Neil, to my best friend, and lots of love, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you. The author, Stephen Hunter, he's also the co-star of Ryan Philippe in what's that series you're on? Shooter. Yeah, he's Ryan Philippe's. He's the one who made Ryan Philippe. Yeah.
What did I say?
And he's also a Pulitzer Prize winner for movie criticism for the Washington Post.
Let's not forget Helen.
Oh yes,
Best reporter on the Baltimore Sun.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Cowan and Coker. O'Neill.
Could you get a bigger crowd?
Yeah. How are you, brother? I mean, is this your place? Is this your place?
There you go.
Now hold it now. I got a book here.
Right here.
Everybody's has a page. There's Ozzy's in Wales. Okay. She's pissed that she's not here. Everybody gets a page. Writes a note to you.
Oh my.
I'll get it done.
Willie Scoggs, former coach of North Carolina lacrosse, won a couple of championships against Hopkins, for which he used to play.
Writing all my college papers. And the crab cakes. With the papers, they were big.
And for teaching me how to make a great martini and all of the other shit you taught me.
Thanks for writing all my college papers. And I only got B pluses, by the way.
party.
You did it, babe. You did it.
Happy birthday, Neil. Wish we could be there, or you could be.
Or you could be here.
Here.
Have fun.
Happy birthday, Neil.
Happy birthday, Neil.
Okay, ready? We're gonna sing happy birthday. Ready? Happy birthday to Neil. Or happy birthday to you. You ready? You wanna sing?
Yeah.
Okay, ready and sing.
Happy day to Neil. Oh.
Happy day, Neil. Happy,
birthday, Neil.
Happy birthday, Neil.
Big Daddy Russell, thanks for passing the mic, and Mr. Neil Grauer. Happy 70th birthday, my friend. We've known each other for a wonderful 14 years, and I remember the first meal we shared at Chez Nag. Seniors Chris Watson and Peter Lesor brought young, lonely freshmen, myself, and Michael Doniger over. We shared about 3 hours together, had steak, and I think caviar. But if I'm off, good thing you keep record books on all the shared meals you have at your place. It's one of the wonderful things that you do among many, many, many. For all of you that came to celebrate this moment, I want to thank you. I wish I was there. I'm out in Denver here actually playing against former Hopkins teammate Matt Bocklett in a game. But when I'm back, Neil, we'll be sure to share a toast with each other. What a wonderful man, a great mentor and dear friend. I love you very much, and I'll see you soon.
Ready.
Okay. Hi, Neil. Greetings from Athens. Michelle and I are about to board a boat, and that's the only reason why we're not with you on your birthday. So happy birthday, greetings from Athens. When I think of Athens, I think of Socrates, who said, to do is to be. And of course, it was Frank Sinatra who said, doobie-doobie-doo. And you remind me of a cross between Socrates and Frank Sinatra, except they're both dead and you aren't, which I guess is why we're celebrating this birthday. I look forward to many more with you. It's been 50 years. Here's to the next 50. Happy birthday, Neil, from Michelle and Chuck.
Yes.
All right,
Donger.
Donger, my
Norman
son.
needs food.
We love you. We miss you. Thank you so much for all your love, and all the best.
Yeah, all right, Donger, listen. We got Neil, Butch, Valero.
Chicky.
Forget about Chick. We got the camera, the video lady, the camera.
Wonderful man.
Everyone say hi to Donger.
David!
Casey, say hi to Donger.
Love it, baby.
Donger.
Chicky.
Miss you, buddy.
Tracy Kelly.
Love it.
Miss you, Donger.
Me. What's up, Donger?
Hey,